The new 911 RSR. Spearhead. A timeline extending from 1963 into the future, as true as a racing line. The quintessence of a success story. For many, this would be a fitting conclusion. For Porsche, it's just a halfway point. With the 911 RSR, we have given new expression to fascination sports car and taken another step closer to creating the perfect thoroughbred racing car. A car that not only carries the motorsports gene inside it, but more importantly carries it further. From the development center in Weissach to the racetracks of the world. And brings back something that was always more valuable to Porsche than victories, fame or honor, insight. Experiences that will bring future generations of the 911 further. Technologies that will prove their worth on the racetrack so that they can be used in series production. So as not just to keep Ferry Porsche's dream of the ideal race car alive, but to keep breathing new life into it. There can be no doubt that the 911 RSR has already shown its genetic heritage in its very first season. And we are convinced that it will also be the measure of all things in GT factory motorsports in the future. Because it is not just the sum of all our experiences and successes over the years. It is the quintessence of all these things. Technical specs Porsche 911 RSR. Technical specs engine water-cooled 6-cylinder boxer. Displacement 4.0 liters. Power approx. 510 horsepower, 375 kilowatts, depending on restrictor. Transmission 6-speed sequential constant mesh gearbox. Weight approx. 2,740 pounds, base weight as per rules. Length, 179.41 in. The essence of more than 60 years of motorsports, and in excess of 30,000 race victories. Good ideas prevail. With the Porsche 911, an idea was made real in 1963 that for 7 generations has continued to rank as a thoroughbred sports car. Today, the motorsports interpretation of this idea has found its strongest expression in the 911 RSR. But what is the result from working on such a vehicle? The fastest, most powerful and most athletic GT sports car that our engineers have ever designed. A race car whose power cannot be measured in horsepower alone. Because a great weight rests on it from the very first yards that it travels, the burden of being a vehicle that for 5 decades has been synonymous with the phrase sports car. The pressure to succeed generated by more than 60 years of Porsche motorsports and in excess of 30,000 race victories. Not least the successful 2013 season with the double victory at the 24H of Le Mans. The 911 RSR is bound to a tradition we have lived by since the very beginning because the 356, the very first Porsche, also proved its winning quality shortly after its creation. Its successor, the 911, followed suit just 3 months after it went into series production. It took to the starting line at the 1965 Monte Carlo Rally and earned its first-class win. A performance that not only impressed its competition on the track, but astounded everyone. Where was the difference here between a sports car and a race car? It was impossible to tell. Because at Porsche this does not exist. For more than 50 years, we have been defining motorsports with the 911. Not because we have to, but because we simply can't do anything else. In the most varied of racing series, from national championships up to international events like the American Le Mans Series, on-road and off-road, in legendary classic races such as the Paris-Dakar Rally and the 24-hour race at the Nürburgring, whether in manufacturers' cups or in GT sport. With the 911 RSR, we are keeping this tradition alive. Because it unites the pioneering spirit and ability of our engineers with Ferry Porsche's dream to build a sports car that has the ability to win on the racetrack and which gains experience that is then in turn incorporated in series production. A dream that has captivated countless people for decades. Review from auto.k news.